Welcome, welcome, welcome to round one of this thing that we're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
This
Scott
thing?
Chase, Kelly McCoy. I am Dodger. For those of you that don't know me, but you know what? Maybe we will after all this is said and done. It's our happy hour, the first ever one.
It is happy hour. Wait a minute.
Are we all prepared?
Cheers.
Oh, what are we gonna do? Crack my
I'm prepared.
Nice chatty light from our friends over at Heaven and Ale. So I think we're all prepared for this. So everybody, everybody's day go well so far. I mean, it's Friday, the sun's shining. Have we had a nicer day?
Hey, is the light okay on me, real quick?
You look great. You look spectacular. It's almost like I saw you on TV recently. I'm not sure.
This is almost like Showtime after hours. Almost.
Almost.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So
hey, I'm getting out of my comfort zone here with a hazy IPA, man. A Sierra Nevada hazy IPA. Only take a couple of these. How long will this last today?
You will be hazy very soon.
That's a good choice, though. Have you made the trip over to Asheville to the Sierra Nevada brewery over there?
Early on, it was. How long has that place been? It's been a while since I've been to Asheville. I'm due to go back. One of Tanner's buddies, I believe, is a brewer over there. I mean, they have a lot of micro breweries in Asheville. It's rich territory.
Yeah, they do. It's fun. I love it over there. It's gorgeous too. I mean, there's like places here that we know are gorgeous. You get into the mountains and stuff like that. You get to Asheville, and it's just different. It feels so nice too.
I'm doing double duty, so I'm gonna have to bounce away and do some of the roadshow this afternoon and come back. So we're all good there. We're all good. I'm not much of a multitasker.
You're gonna sneak
really?
out.
When did that happen?
When I was an infant. Grew out of it. Hey, let's have one. For be able to hang with some great people. Kelly and I, we appreciate you, Dodger. He's like our new techie guy, and he figures out all the cool stuff. And this is one of the things you did. So we're going to share some rocktails and cocktails with you today, Dodger. Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Well, before we're going, while we're cheering, can I just say a big shout out to one of our Radio Ranch buddies who just got a big promotion today, Tom Benson.
Yes.
Who has been with the Tennessee Aquarium forever. Of course, he was with Channel 3 for forever doing the weather. When Cindy Todd left the VP Chief Marketing Officer position, he took over as interim, and they made him official today. And he and I share a birthday, which is coming up on Thursday. So a toast to my birthday, buddy, and congratulations.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
He's been there. He's been there a hunk of time now. How long has he been?
He has been there quite a while. He started out, once he got certified in scuba diving, he volunteered as one of the scuba divers, volunteer scuba divers, and kind of worked his way through the ranks and has just done an amazing job, and such a gentleman. He truly is an amazing guy.
Yeah, yes. And his wife makes some great cookies.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. That doesn't hurt.
Did you guys think the aquarium was going to take off like it did when it first? You guys were here, obviously, when it was starting to be built. I was here as well at that point in time. I remember touring it as like a high school junior or something like that. So forgive me for being a little bit younger in the group. But did you think it was going to take off like that? Can you believe it's been 25 years or something like that since the aquarium's been open?
It's Julie and I were not married when they were first building it, so it's because I remember walking downtown and hanging around and watching the thing being built, and I thought, man, I wonder what the heck is that going to be? And then suddenly it opens up. It was what got everything going. There was that, and then there was Big River, and then it all kind of grew from there. Otherwise, you wouldn't even go downtown for only Riverbend, a great Tennessee River raft race, and a jam, and that's pretty much it. Maybe a Kidney Foundation barbecue. But now look at it. I mean, it just happened, and not now like it has been over the past few years because of all the stuff that's been going on. But the people are getting back out now. We drove downtown the other evening, and people are out some now. Thank goodness again.
Yes.
It's hard to stay inside at this point in time. I mean, like I said earlier, the weather just the way that it is, and of course the beauty that we have in this area to get out and walk some trails, go walk by the riverfront. I know I did that last weekend for Mother's Day. Took my mom by the riverfront just to kind of have a little picnic out there, and there were people on bikes and walking, and it's just tough. It's hard to not get out and enjoy what we have out there.
Yeah, it truly is.
It's how is it? 80 today? It's going to be 90 this weekend, maybe right at it. How about that? I'll take it.
I might social distance on a few kayaks this weekend.
Sounds good.
There are a few things. I know you guys have been plugged in all week and doing all the on-air stuff and keeping up with things. But a few things that I grabbed that I thought it would be kind of interesting to chat about while we're on here. And thanks to everybody that's checking in, Kyle and Denise and Steven all checking in on Facebook. And
Hi, guys.
There's a lot of different things. Did you watch the Prince concert last night on YouTube? It's a little off classic rock, but follow me on this one. I'm going somewhere. Did you watch it last night?
I did not.
No.
What a guitar player that guy was, though, and what an entertainer. Period. I mean, but I did not.
Yeah, it was an incredible show. It was one from I think the '86. It was on the Purple Rain tour. But a lot of artists are putting together these YouTube shows and just allowing for people to see stuff in the archives. I know Pink Floyd did it with Live from Pompeii, put that full video on YouTube, which is one of my favorites. God, I love that Live from Pompeii concert. And tonight, Queen is redoing the Salute to Freddie Mercury concert.
Yeah.
You guys remember watching that one? Were you watching it live? Do you remember when that was?
Absolutely, yeah. And they started streaming it at 2:00 this afternoon. It's only available though for 48 hours. So don't wait until next week thinking you can quote unquote DVR it because that doesn't happen. But man, so many incredible performers. Robert Plant is in there. David Bowie is in there. Metallica does a performance. Guns N' Roses, Axl's on there. It's just power packed and man, a musical tribute to be sure. And if you got a couple hours and you've kind of blown through everything on YouTube and your DVR, that would be something that you might want to catch up on.
How do you like broadcaster from the house, Kelly? How are you? I remember the little thing she's got here. By the way, that thing's blue. Yeah. That thing is heavy. Mason and I picked that up from a buddy of ours at this Massachusetts, which we appreciate.
Absolutely.
And that thing is heavy, so we carry it in there and we get it put right. And so, how is it? We've been doing it for a few weeks now, and
it's different. I mean, I call it my Shangri-La studio because obviously Georgia is my co-host, and she does occasional traffic reports if there's a squirrel in the yard or a dog walking down the street, and she's made a few appearances. But it's different, but it's nice. This is a little bit my lovely bath towel extra soundproofing, so it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's sufficient and it's comfortable and quite frankly it's kind of nice being able to do my show in my slippers. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
That is the trick, is finding clothes to wear from the waist down at this point in time.
It's like I feel like a TV anchor all of a sudden because it's like I from here up I'm dressed and from here down it's whatever.
I'm glad you said TV anchor because now I get to talk to Scott about being on TV.
Oh, Chip knows I got a face for radio, but he keeps putting me on TV. What's going on with that? I don't get it. He's fine.
So what's the difference for you? Is there a difference for you when you go on TV? I know I've done a little bit too, and Kelly, you have over the years as well. It's a bit of a different feeling when you got a camera staring at you instead of a microphone.
It is. I don't think I'm very good at it. I think both of you are very photogenic and do a great job at it. Both of you do, but I actually, and I've been in front of a zillion crowds, but there's something that's a little bit unnerving about going on TV now still. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a little weird? It seems maybe it doesn't show, but there's that. I think it's that unknown. And well, it's kind of like it's new territory. And there's a lot of new territory that we have covered. And not everybody has worked from home. And some people have gone back and forth to work. And we understand that at the radio station, it's pretty close. So if we're there, we're all kind of there together. Yeah. So the decision was made that and the technology now exists that you can actually do what we do from a remote location. There's a couple of things that can't get accomplished, but the technology curve, I've had to learn some new tricks for this old dog,
Right.
That's what I love. And people ask me a lot about doing on location broadcasts, and you guys know better than I do, but those broadcasts in the mid 80s, early 90s, there was just a giant van filled with so much equipment. It took 5 people to set up, hours on end, and nowadays we're just rolling up and broadcasting from our
Yeah, you bring your phone. Even if you have a really old archaic phone like I do, go ahead and make fun of it. It's okay.
It's not the flip flop anymore or flip up. Yeah, you did graduate from that.
Yay for me! But it's pretty amazing. And we had these things called Martys, which if you had never dealt with them, you don't know what they're all about. But they rarely work. They work like mobile phones did when they first came out, like hardly at all. They were this big, they were huge, like a suitcase, and you would carry it in there, and then it wouldn't work. And there'd be this level of frustration that came with all that. But Marty's, you had to, first of all, you had to have a huge antenna up on the van, so and then you had to make sure you didn't forget and leave the antenna up when you left, which happened a couple of times.
Yes,
because it would tear stuff up, including it. And then you had to point it toward the tower, and it wasn't great technology. It really wasn't.
What's your worst Marty experience? We've all got one. We all know of what one time where something crazy happened with a Marty. I've got mine. I know you guys have yours.
I can't. There's a couple of times I had somebody that was really going to be a great guest, ready to go, and then it wouldn't work. And I can't remember. Ted Nugent, I think, was one of them. I had Ted Nugent ready to go, and then it wouldn't work, and we had to swing back around, and he was. As you might guess, kind of antsy about it.
Really?
Very vocal. He was very vocal about it.
So you would say he was liberal in using his voice.
Only. Oh.
Drink on that one.
I need a rim shot in here somewhere. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned we've had recently, wasn't that long ago, we had one of the vans at the station that had Marty that didn't want to go down and stayed at a certain location for a few days as a result.
Yes. Where was it? Was it a mall? Or
it was at Chattanooga State on campus. It's just, what do? You got a 30-foot Marty up in the sky. You can't do anything about it.
Man, that broadcast has really lasted a long time. It's been going on for 4 or 5 days. Haven't they run out of things to talk about?
We're dedicated broadcasters, if anything.
Absolutely.
So one of the other things that we're doing that some of the people that are watching and listening right now might have been paying attention to and taking part in the KZ band battle on the Facebook page. Since everything is a little bit different, we kind of became a little more interactive on the Facebook page and let people kind of go back and forth there. The KZ band battle, we are into our winners bracket. You guys are having some fun watching these things roll through. I know that the artists are interesting. We all three, I know, have a totally different feel of genres in eras of rock music. Right. And so it's kind of funny to see those eras match up and see who comes out as winners.
Well, here, Kelly, by the way,
I was about to say, where is it? Show me the money.
We had a wager.
Show me the money. I told him AC/DC was going to be Journey, and he was like, I'm not so sure.
Well, and oddly enough, you're probably a bigger Journey fan. I'm probably a bigger AC/DC fan. But I was just thinking, I don't know. But they walked away with it, though. You're right. You were right.
It was a little closer than I think I thought it would have been, though. It was only like 60. I mean, it was 60 to, I think 60% of the vote went with AC/DC. Yeah. Which is
where Jimi Hendrix and the Who? Where that was Jimi Hendrix was way out in front, and then it got pretty tight here this afternoon. I'm not sure exactly where it is right now.
Yeah, I'll have to check on that.
Yeah, it was, and our buddy Mike Allison reached out on my Facebook site. I shared it, and he was all about the Who. Which I thought Mike Allison was the afternoon guy on KZ106 when I came to town in 1985, and Kelly McCoy was already here. She was here when I got here, and worked upstairs, and Mike was here. He was a great afternoon guy, just a great guy. Yeah, and he left and called some baseball for a period of time, and now he does the movie things. What's the little movie? Redbox, yes, Redbox. So he said the Who. I love the Who. But I'm thinking Jimi Hendrix.
All right, I might give you a chance to win your money back on that one.
I was gonna say, let's do it.
Okay, all right, I'll take the Who.
The world's seen it at this moment now. There's no backing down, no getting out of it now.
We'll see how it all goes.
I have a feeling we're going to be trading $5 back and forth a lot between the next few weeks. So we'll just see who wins at the end. So
hey, that Alice Cooper thing that we posted on our Facebook page.
Oh man.
It's good. It's really
awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he wrote the song, and basically, I guess, reached out to his fan base. And if you remember the old Bob Dylan video where he did that with the signs that were held up with one word or a phrase on it, he just basically sent the lyrics out, and I guess they assigned one word of the lyrics to every person. 20,000 people, 20,000 of his fans did it. And so when you watch the video, it's like, the globe, and he's in the middle of it, and you see him singing and hear him singing. But then all these pictures pop in with all these different fans holding up one word of the song lyrics. I just thought it was amazing. The song itself, I thought, was great.
Rocks, totally rocks, man. His guitar player, she is killer.
Yeah.
Killer. Yeah, she is so good. And his voice was on. You guys didn't go see that Alice Cooper concert when it happened here in town.
No, I missed it.
A year or so ago. He was killer, man. Great. Jimmy was there from Songbirds and bought me a beer, and I appreciate that too. It was delicious, and we hugged. But he was good, man, and he's aged. He's got some years on him, but he rocks. Yeah. And this new tune is really good. The new Stones tune is good.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I know you throw the Stones in there, and that one I think just sounds like old school Stones, which is
it does.
Great. I think it's that sound everybody's looking for and everybody wants to hear, and it just sounded like a throwback.
Yeah, it's real good.
And I'm glad they did it since they've had to postpone their U.S. tour. So, at least we got something from the Stones that we can hang our hat on for a while. But yeah, I checked Ticketmaster this morning, and they had postponed the overseas dates, and they hadn't said anything about the U.S. But unfortunately, now all the U.S. dates have postponed by them. So,
that's too bad.
Yeah,
I hope it happens. I hope everything settle back down. I've been back and forth over, getting out and should you get out, and some people don't want to get out, and I haven't shaken anybody's hand for not much for a long time, which is really odd. That's the one thing do I love being here with Julie and hanging out at the house, working in the garden and playing with the chickens and whatever, swimming in the pool, and man, is it cold. But I like all that. But I really miss hanging out with people, and I'm a hugger and a lover and shaker of hands, and I haven't been doing much of that. It's worn on me just a little bit, hasn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's I'm one of those. I'm probably in the camp of being more cautious than wanting to get out. But like my friends and I, we always meet for Sunday brunch at least once a month, and it's like our favorite restaurant has finally opened up at 50% capacity this Sunday, and they're like, "Are you in?" And I'm like, "I want to be. I really want to be. I'm not sure I'm there yet."
Mm-hmm. I am. I'm there. I want to go. I'm out. I've been out a couple of times. Now, I'm not right up on folks. Don't get me wrong, but I've gotten out some. And when the places that are open, drive by.
They're busy.
Yeah. People are out.
I think it's a lot about being cautious and being careful and being respectful of others at this point in time too. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to in my mind. Just be respectful of others. There are going to be people like Kelly that want to be, a little further away, and then there's going to be those that are just like, hey, let's get back into this. But it's to each their own, and we all get to do that, right?
Yeah.
The last time I went out to an event at all, by the way, was at Songbirds. That was like the day before, and I guess that was March something or other. Went to Songbirds, and what was that band that was there? Man, they were great. They were from Nashville, and I can't think.
Yeah,
they were good.
The Dirty something there.
Yes,
Dirty Roses. Was it Dirty Roses? I think.
Dirty Roses.
Yes,
it was.
Yeah, they were really good. I'd go back and see them again. But when I was talking to Bill Lockhart, and I said, "Man, I'm going to go down tonight, and I know what they're saying. What do you do when people? Because you always shake hands." I taught both my sons. I said, "Dudes, one thing you got to do is look somebody straight in the eye, shake their hand, and give them a firm grip every time." And suddenly, I'm like, "Well, you can't shake their hand anymore." It's a little bit weird, And Bill goes, "Well, you'll get accustomed to it." And it's interesting how over the past weeks and months that you kind of get accustomed to not shaking hands and being so touchy, huggy feely.
So do you do elbow bumps or do you
have some or just not?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get it. I'm with you on that. It's just a handshake, especially. There's something. There's few things more American than just going in and shaking somebody's hand nice and firm. That's just kind of the way that we were all raised and the way we were taught. And it's going to be weird.
I'm a hugger, so yeah.
And I wasn't going to talk about that stuff much on here because of my show. I have not been talking about it much because we talk. And I can't watch I can't watch any of the TV or the news, no matter what it is anymore. I'm just bombarded with all that. I feel like in the afternoon between 2 and 7, it ought to be kind of an oasis. Away from that, you listen to some Zeppelin and Stones and some rock and roll, some AC/DC, and you just you enjoy what KZ106 is all about. So that's what I've been trying to do. I've been accomplishing it. I know you have, Kelly.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I agree with you. I want to focus on the positive and the fun things and the cool things that have happened in the past and the history behind the songs and some of the fun times we've had together in the past. You were talking about concerts and going out. I can remember, and man, this was 90, 91, something or somewhere around. It was the year that the Braves and the Twins were in the World Series. So if you remember that year, but there is a place up in Nashville called Starwood Amphitheater, which to this day remains my favorite place to ever go see an outdoor concert. That place was just awesome. We had so many great times there. And so if I can set the scene for you, because this was pre-cell phone, so there was nobody videoing it, and there probably isn't a video to be shared on YouTube at any time in the future, unfortunately. I wish there were. But it was like in October, there was a huge harvest moon. It was a clear night. Weather was perfect. We were in a blanket or on a blanket in the grass, sitting there, and it was Little Feat opening for the Allman Brothers.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And it was amazing. Little Feat just absolutely tore it up. And so we're sitting there and it's, intermission time and we're just talking about how great they were and looking forward to the Allman Brothers. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my best friend Lisa, who was with me, we look up and her sister is walking by with her husband. And so they came and sat down on the blanket, and they had one of those battery powered televisions. So now all of a sudden we're getting the Braves game and we're getting Little Feat and the Allman Brothers. Wow. And talk about the trifecta. But it was so funny because it was like after each Allman Brothers song, the people behind us were like, "What's the score?" And so we'd like tell them. And so you could see it traveling around, the yard at Starwood.
It was like the way.
Yeah. And by the time it got to the other side, it was like 74-10. The Braves are winning. But yeah, that was so cool. And this concert was actually over before the game, and they finally kicked us out. We had about 40 people gathered around us, and we were all watching on this little tiny screen. And they finally kicked us out. So we walked right outside the gate and propped the TV up on one of the trash cans, and we sat and watched the end of the game. And the Braves ended up winning that game. And literally every car in the parking lot, nobody had left. And every horn was blowing. People were cheering. It was magical. I mean, I still get goosebumps today remembering that. That was my definite favorite concert experience ever. And gosh, I wish that it were able to be shared, but I'm glad it wasn't ruined by people on cell phones texting during the whole concert. So
cheers to that.
Yeah, I will cheers to that too.
What's your go-to concert experience, Scott? I know you've got a number of them as well. What's the one that stands out for you?
Man, I tell you what, we used to do concert caravans.
So many stories.
Well, they were a blast, man.
Yeah.
We would load up the bus with beer. I mean, kegs of beer. And we had, and we went to several Rolling Stone shows and U2. We went to the Amnesty concert, but we went to Pink Floyd. And we had 6 bus loads of Pink Floyd fans. And we floated the kegs before we got to Rome, Georgia, on the way to Atlanta. And they're like, more beer, more beer. And so, like idiots, we pulled over and got more beer.
You got stopped at Cartersville.
We did. And, man, it was just crazy. Think about it. I mean, every bus is 45, 50 people.
Yeah.
And we went down there, and the Floyd show was so good. That was great. We also took a bus to a Grateful Dead show down there one time, which I don't know if you've ever been to a Grateful Dead show, but it is a real event. Outside of Grateful Dead, it's a tailgate on steroids or on something, not usually steroids.
Yeah, no.
Tailgate on a few things, actually, not just one thing.
It is. So that's got to be that's a pretty good one right there. I told the story earlier today about being at a Van Halen show. And it was not with David Lee. Sammy was there fronting the band. I'm backstage with the guy that was doing the keyboards. He was laying in a bunch of keyboard tracks before they even went on, because he overlapped on stage. And I look over and there's Garth Brooks. I thought, man, that's kind of crazy. Garth Brooks is backstage at a Van Halen show here at the Roundhouse. What's going on with that? What's up with that? He goes, man, he heard that our sound and lights was like state of the art and the best out there. And he's getting ready to go on tour, and he's coming checking ours out. And sure as the world, man, he hired that company, and they went out with that sound and light show.
Wow.
I found that kind of interesting.
That's
There's
cool.
Yeah. We had so much fun at UTC Arena. Oh my gosh, man. Everybody played there. And we'd go to David's and have some beers and have some wings and bounce back and forth. I mean, the roster of people that played here in Chattanooga at UTC Arena is just magnificent. It really is.
Yeah.
We miss those days.
Yeah, I've got the fact that I think it was 82. I think it was the Kiss Creatures tour. I claim as my first concert. I think my second one was the Monkees at the Roundhouse. I don't claim that as the first one, but I think it's the Kiss Creatures tour, which I'll claim as the first one. But the the Aerosmith tour, the Permanent Vacation album, the Poison, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, all those that ran through the mid '80s.
ZZ Top, number of times. That one time ZZ Top came in, I was living at Lake Park then. Yeah. Lake Park Apartments on Mountain Creek Road. And the ZZ Top concert sold out like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 days before the show. And we played nothing but ZZ Top for 4 hours prior to the show. And everybody got together at my house, and we cooked out and drank beers, and then we all went to the show. And it was incredible, man. Gosh, those guys. And the time that we had a guitar made, specifically customized, and took it and delivered it and hand delivered it to Billy Gibbons backstage at a ZZ Top show. And he was so touched, and he flipped it over, and it had the KZ106 logo on the back. And he was so touched, like a big tear almost came to his eye. Those are pretty special times right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we have had our share of them.
A lot of them over the years, more of them still to come. We're half an hour into this happy hour, and I'm pretty much good here. So I tell you what, you guys have things to do on this Friday evening. Scott, you've got a radio show to continue on. We're going to do this again, though.
Okay.
I think we do it next Friday to celebrate Memorial Day and the Memorial Day 500.
And you know what we did this time? We've moved it up a day, so we're starting on Thursday.
And why is that, Scott?
It's your birthday.
Thank you.
It's your birthday.
It's a national holiday, another one. So, we're going to make it an extra long weekend.
Well, here's the KZ106 Rocktails, okay? And I appreciate you guys. Dodger, by the way, welcome to the Radio Ranch. You're a great addition to all of our stations, and I love listening to you on KZ106, buddy.
Absolutely. Happy weekend, everybody.
Absolutely. Enjoy. We'll see you back next time.
You got it.